volunteering here since 3 years ago. I love this place. This is my happy place. Everybody that comes is happy. I'm usually here I'm here every Saturday and usually most Fridays. Our hours are 10 to 5, Friday and Saturday during the regular year. During the winter months, December 1st till the 1st of March, we're open 10 to 2 on those days. This is a garden that was started in 1927 by Eddie and Elizabeth Clarkson. They have passed away now. These are the Clarksons here. And this is a completely hand-dug garden. Nothing is professionally done except the wrought iron gates and the marble plaques and the brass plaques that are in the garden.
So she did it all herself by
They
hand.
did it all. They did it all
together.
themselves. In that 61 years that they were here, they did have 2 yard men that helped them,
Okay.
but they were not professional landscapers or professional gardeners. In 1927, they built the home, and this is it. They had a cleared lot, just one lot, and this is a side view of the house. And back over here, you can't see it in the picture, there was one little tree. It was a willow oak.
Okay.
4
Is that
feet.
the one with the bench around it?
It's still here today. It has the big white bench.
Okay.
So it's amazing what almost 100 years can do
I was going
to
to
a
ask
tree.
how old the tree was. And if
Yeah,
you
it
could
was
tell.
here. It was about 4 years old
Okay.
when they moved here, they think. So it's been here since probably 1923.
Okay.
Miss Clarkson designed this house. She was 22.
Wow.
And Mr. Clarkson was 26 when he built it for her. And he built it just like she wanted it.
She had good taste.
She was very talented, very artistic. She designed and made the cornice boards here. They have those are wooden cornice boards with a rope trim. And she followed that on the lamps that she made here in the living room.
And she made them.
Very artistic lady.
Oh, amazing.
All the furniture in the house is original. It's what was here when they were here. She passed away in 88,
Oh,
and he died in 93.
wow.
And the Winghaven Foundation has not changed any of the furniture, including the placement. No one lives in the house now. We consider it a museum and ask everyone to treat it as such. If you'll notice in the rooms, there are no pictures on the walls. Miss Clarkson wanted her outside, her garden and all to be her pictures, her landscape. There's no overhead lighting in this room or in the living room. They ate by candlelight every night. They were a very elegant couple, but they were also very generous, very down to earth, very economical, and very well organized. The house is, as far as the organization in the house is very organized. And her cabinets, she has extra drawers in the cabinets. She has a true china closet here.
And you said these are the original cabinets, cabinetry still in the house? Oh.
Yeah, the foundation just keeps the house up. We paint it and keep it just like she had it, like she left it. But she used a lot of really nice storage space in her design. There are 4 pools on the property. This pool here is a reflection pool. It's about 8 inches deep. And it was built to reflect what is around it. A lot of people say, why did she put the mirrors up in the garden? She put them up because she got tired of just looking at the wall. That's what she said. But they show depth. They reflect. They make the garden look bigger. So she was just very wise, very wise. The garden is hand dug, as I said, so the paths are small. We do have a wheelchair accessible area, and that's right here and in behind the house directly. The other paths are just really small.
Gotcha.
one person can go, maybe two, but to be wheelchair accessible, 4 people have to be able to walk side by side. We are trying, as we are able to get more handicap abilities in the garden,
Okay.
but this is a historical garden. So we have to try to leave it just like she left it. When things die, we try to go back with the same thing. Now, if she had an invasive plant, because invasive plants were not as well known as they are today,
Right.
we will not go back with that. We will go back with a native.
Okay.
That's the only
Awesome.
difference.
So what is your favorite part of the gardens? Do you have a favorite?
Probably, I think my favorite part is probably out the back, the
Okay.
window here.
Okay.
Because it's such a beautiful view all year long. I know one morning I was here and there were about 20 or 30 finches, gold finches.
Oh.
This was last year, just lined up around that little terrace pool,
Oh.
drinking their water. It was so interesting, but I like that view.
Yeah.
We have a lot of proposals in the garden, bridal proposals,
Okay.
wedding proposals, and a favorite spot is that bench there underneath the crepe myrtle.
Oh, wow.
They really like that. The garden photographs beautifully, so we have a lot of photo shoots and that sort of thing. The garden now can be rented for events, small parties, things of that nature.
Okay.
We don't hold any weddings here or anything like that. We can have events of no more than 50 people.
Okay.
And we try to be very conscious of our neighbors. We are in a neighborhood, we're not in a commercial development, and we're very protective of our neighbors and try to keep the noise down, not block their driveways when we park. And they're very protective of the garden. A lot of our neighbors have been here a long time, and they're very protective of the garden. And if they see anything that doesn't look right, they'll tell us immediately, which is really nice.
Well, Myers Park itself is sort of a historical
Yes,
district
it
of
is.
Charlotte, isn't
Very
it?
much so.
I know. I
Mhm.
love driving through in the spring when the trees, well, all the time, but especially in the spring when the trees just are a canopy.
Yeah.
I love that part. Now, if you don't mind, you also mentioned was a concert pianist, is that
Yes, she
correct?
was. The way she and Mr. Clarkson met
Right.
in the early 20s, he was a textile salesman, and his
Okay.
route took him through Boston, Maine. She was at the Boston School of Music. She was from Uvalde, Texas. He was from Charlotte.
Wow.
She was at the Boston School of Music studying to be a concert pianist. So they met, they fell in love, and they got engaged. And then, of course, he brought her to Charlotte from Uvalde. She traveled for 3 years and was a concert pianist after they got married. And then she decided she didn't want to be away from home so
Gotcha.
much, so she stopped doing that. But everybody that came loved to hear her play
Yes.
because she played beautifully.
She mentioned in the video that the bluebirds that she raised would
Mhm.
sit on her arms while she played arpeggios. I thought that
Yes.
is so cool.
And just hang on like a little
Yes,
lamb. Mhm.
that was a delightful
Yeah.
story. I
And
enjoyed
you could
that.
tell in the film, you can tell what a nice, easy personality she has.
Yes.
And how they were constantly teaching
Yes.
about the garden and about the animals. They didn't have children,
Oh, wow.
but you could see they loved children.
Yeah.
They had children in all the time and gave parties for children and things like that.
It seemed they loved children and nature because
Yes, they
they
did.
had such a deep respect. And it
Mhm.
just, I love the plaques throughout the garden with quotes. And the statues as well. Now, you said she designed it. Were they specific reasons for those statues, or just they looked well, the placement in the garden?
No,
Okay.
every statue
Okay.
has a meaning here.
Okay, excellent.
And to actually know what those are, you need a private tour
Okay.
because
gotcha.
there's so many of them.
Gotcha.
But like the engravings of the marble plaques on the
Mhm.
walls and the floors of the garden and the bronze plaques,
Mhm.
those themselves, there are 34 of those plaques in the garden. And Mr. and Ms. Clarkson would just see something they liked and they would write it down and put it in the
Okay.
shoebox, a little piece of paper in the shoebox. And then in 1944, they decided that they better do something with all those little slips of paper. So once a year, they would pull out a slip of paper and have an artist come in and do them a plaque. There are 34 plaques in the garden.
Oh, that's awesome.
So a lot of the statues that came, there were gifts to them from different people. A lot of the plants were gifts from her mother.
Oh,
The Vitek that's out back, that's the oldest Vitek in the United States. was sent up here from Uvalde, Texas, by her mother to her through the mail in 1930. You can't do that
It
anymore.
survived though.
And she
Wow.
planted it, and you'll notice how big it is. We've got it all braced and everything. It's certified.
Got a picture of that, that's awesome.
Things like that, that you can't do anymore,
Right.
you know, because of the
Wow.
laws now. You can't bring
Plants,
food or
yeah.
plants or stuff from
Yeah.
other countries or other states.
Well, all right, so another question, we noticed that all the birdhouses, one especially was huge. So we were asking, were there specific birds in mind when they built some of them, or just whatever would,
Okay, are you talking about the round ones that look like rockets
there's,
that are
I
mounted?
guess, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
those are wood boxes.
Okay,
Yes, but they're for the wood ducks.
okay, oh, okay,
Uh-huh.
gotcha.
And we had wood ducks here. I think you saw that on the film,
Mhm.
Irving, the wood duck.
Yep,
The female
Came
wood
every
duck,
spring,
duck
yeah.
named Irving. Hugo came through in 90 or 91, took out 38 trees in the garden,
oh,
had a lot of damage. The house was not damaged, the fence was.
oh,
We were very fortunate for that. But the wood ducks left then, and they've not been back.
oh,
We have since put up the wood duck nesting boxes.
okay,
We're trying to plant things that they like to nibble on.
okay.
We
yeah.
have uncovered the duck pond. It got a little overgrown with some ivy, and we've uncovered the duck pond where they used to swim and play and love. So we have high hopes that the wood ducks will come back.
That's wonderful. All
Now, we did see some Canadian geese. Some
Uh,
Canadian geese
yeah.
flew in about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So that's, at least it's a duck.
That-
That's
true,
a good
gotcha.
sign. We're taking that as a good sign. Maybe they'll tell the others, hey, this is a good place, y'all come on, you know.
They'll branch
We'd
out.
love to have them back.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Beverly, thank you so much for your time.
You're
And I
welcome.
really enjoy the
You're
gardens, and
welcome.
I'm just grateful it's here, and I really, really do appreciate you taking your time
You're
to
certainly
give
welcome,
me a
and I appreciate
quick
you coming to
history
Wing Haven.
Thank
Hope you'll
you.
come back.
Thank